One-on-one dominance is still the foundation of soccer. It's the purest expression of skill, timing, and willpower, and it must be coached from the very first practice and reinforced in every single session after that. These moments decides games. They build confidence, toughness, and technical sharpness. But here's the thing. The one-on-one drills are also the highest intensity reps your players will do. So they need to be designed with the smart rest intervals to keep the quality high. Let's get into it. So in this video, we're going through a lot of one-on-one drills. There are 5 group of drills, so use the time step to jump around and save the ones that you see fit for your team best. Before we start, let me just spend a moment talking about the structure of the drills. One-on-one are the most intense drills. There's no place to hide, every touch matters, and both mentally and physically, they're at the highest level. For that reason, we will have to give breaks in between repetitions. Just think of how many player actions in 1 minute you would do when they're playing one-on-one compared to 11v11. That's why you need break every 45 seconds in one-on-one drills, not every 45 minutes, which is the length of each half at 11v11. So the first group of drills are basic drills with predetermined pick on attacker and defender. This is good because it's clear and everybody understands their role. The downside is that there's lack of continuity, but they're good for getting the mindset of defending or attacking. The sessions are 10-second max, so ideally have a setup of 2 or 3 pairs and they change really quickly. So mirror dribble. The setup is simple. 2 players face each other. One player leads with feints and changes direction between the 2 cones and can shoot only on each side of the cone. The other player also cannot challenge outside of the cones. The attacker will learn body feints, balance, and changing direction sharply. The defender practices reaction time, but also patience. Free door. It's similar to the previous one, but I like to start the player on one side and the ball in the middle. Once the attacker starts running towards the ball, the defender can track and it's open to tackle. The attacker can choose to shoot on any of the 3 goals right away or dribble first. The attacker learns how to keep possession and change opportunities. The defender looks to block, limit opportunities, not just chase the ball all around. Pass and press. Similar setup where the attacker has multiple small goals to shoot at, in this case, 2. The defender starts with the ball, passes to the attacker, and presses immediately. I like this one because it's very realistic, but also because it teaches how the defender should approach and press technically. Instead of just straight running, it should have an arch when approaching the attacker while forcing the weaker foot. However, it can be too slow or too distant, or in that case, there will be a clear shot on goal. The next group of drills is a little bit more fluid and have the players interchange their roles. Right after being on offense, they're on defense. This is great for natural continuation of the game at a high level, where attacking and defending regularly switches. Shoot and block. The setup for this drill is a tight area where you can start as an attacker. There's no place to hide and the defender plays high press. You have a chance for a dribble or 2 and then shoot right away. As soon as you shoot or lose the ball, you are a defender and then there's a player coming from the other side with the ball trying to score. Have 3 or 4 players on each side for a high intensity drill. Musical chairs. Square are subdivided in 4 smaller square. Now each of the smaller square has 1 player with the ball. Another player is a defender tries to get the ball from one of the squares. If the ball goes out of bounds or they lose the ball, the defender occupies that square, and the player who lost the ball tries to challenge another square for the ball. This can be done with 2 defenders too. So have about 5 or 6 players in each group and then probably last for 2 to 3 minutes because of the natural resting time. The third group of drills are essentially starting at equal footing. They need to win the ball, and if they do, then they're the attacker and the other side is the defender. This can be very close to a real game where the game continues until the ball is out of bounds or passed to somebody else. So keep away in tight spaces. The natural level of intensity will not be very high, but the technical part of it will be. Both physically and technically, the players will need to outsmart the opponent and figure out how to use their body to shield the ball. You will show them how to do that, but you will also need to keep them honest in case they're starting to dribble too much or trying to nutmeg each other and whatnot. Keep away in large spaces with cones as gates. The issue with the previous drill is that often the intensity will drop and there's no objective and there's no direction. Instead, try to get them to be better at finding some free space, as they would in a game. Make the square a bit bigger and put small cones near the corners. Each gate is a point, and you can get consecutive points through the same gate. Again, no stopping when possession switches, just keep playing. Cones and back. The two players run forward around the cones. You throw the ball in the middle, and both players try to score on the same goal back. There are two key things that they will learn from this. One is that they have to fight for the ball in order to have a chance to score. Then adjust in case they need to defend. Um, so speed of running and speed of thought is important. The second thing is to learn to scan. I release the ball early and vary where the ball is thrown. So it's often in the air, or short on the ground, or long beyond the cones. The player can get an extra edge just by checking their shoulder to see that. Around the cones, similar to the previous one, but they start in the middle and the attacking sides are predetermined to attack at the correct goal. They still fight for the ball and check their shoulder. However, the way they approach it can be very different because of the direction of attack. I often use the same setup for 2v2, and that way they can strategize where one player chases the ball, fights for the ball, while the other player gives the simple one-touch pass option. The fourth group of drills is about creating specific situations that come rare in practice but are important to practice for the real game. The game situations are created realistically, but adapted to the scenario to get the maximum learning opportunity. Chase the rabbit. Set a defender facing their own goal and an attacker behind them, just a bit off to the side. The attacker has the advantage of first mover because the defender cannot see them. The attacker will learn to outsmart opponents, but also how to sprint forward with the ball while setting themselves up to shoot. The defender often has no chance, so I add a goalkeeper and let them shoot on a bigger goal. The defender will learn how to initiate contact, slow them down, maybe slide tackle, but also use their goalkeeper to one touch pass to them, often toe poking the ball. White player one on one. I like to do this drill where the player starts out wide and can only go up to the middle. Again, I like having a goalkeeper if possible because they need to use the space allowed, even though the situation is different and they shouldn't have a clear shot unless they create it themselves. The defender need to learn how to block and delay, but also how to use the outlines. It's often said that they are the best defenders, but only if the actual defenders know how to use them. Throwing defending. Instead of boring practice of throwing, why not combine the throwing and a one-on-one in a real-life situation? The rules are that the throwing is at the start. If the receiver manages to receive and score, that's valid. However, if they decide to pass the ball back to the person doing the throwing, then it becomes a 1v1 situation between them and the defender. I like the decision making and the options in this case, even though it looks like a simple drill for throw-ins. The final group of drills is definitely more advanced. The most important lesson you can teach your players is to use their first touch to get away from trouble and to create advantage. Similarly, the defenders need to learn how to press the first touch because the attackers are much more vulnerable before they have control of the ball. Teach them this and you've given them gold. Back to goal. This is a simple drill to help them learn how to play Holdup. If the marker is tight, can they spin them and create a shot on goal? It can look like a keep away drill with direction, so put a goalkeeper and limit them to 6 seconds for a shot. Simple and very effective drill for hold up play. 1-2 helper. Put a player to be the helper passer in the small semicircles at the top of the penalty area. They will be unopposed and cannot shoot on goal. Instead, they will need to find the pass if they receive the ball. Can the attacker not use them at all? Sure, but they need to learn how to use them as a distraction for the defender at least. The defender will learn both defending and marking in this case. One-on-one crossing. The final drill is crossing. Don't get into the whole let's practice corners by putting everybody in the box and see what happens. You will get frustrated, they will not learn anything. Instead, create a shortened corner situation from a free cross and let them do a 1v1 plus a goalkeeper. They will need to learn how to beat their player, both on offense and on defense. So set 2 touches maximum in the penalty box and quick finishes. They will learn how to head the ball, attack first post, second post, do a dummy run, stay for a cutback. They will need repetitions, many repetitions, but it's gonna work and it's worth it. So these were 15 one-on-one drills in 5 categories. They're not exhaustive, so let me know in the comments which one-on-one drills you like to do with your players. If they're engaged, if it's fun for them, if they're learning, then just keep doing them. And thank you for watching and see you in the next one.